What is the most important step in getting your house ready for the market? The answer to this is the pre-list preparation stage. This happens before your house is on the market. Sometimes this can take a month or two. Sometimes this can only take a couple of days. It really depends on your personal situation and what you've got going on and what your plans are. But I'm going to break down some really important things that you need to think about when getting your house ready for the market. And we'll start with the house preparation. Your house needs to be presentable in order to maximize the value that you are going to get. You are going to have to make it look as good as you possibly can. So things like decluttering, maybe you need to get a bin to your home and start getting rid of things and getting it out. Maybe you just have extra things that maybe don't need to be in the house. So you need to take those things and store them for the time being until the house is sold, or that you're moving, wherever you're moving to needs to go there, or store it, whatever. These things are steps that some people don't think are important, but really these are like the most important parts, because you could leave potentially thousands of dollars on the table if you don't do these things. Another thing that I highly recommend my clients to do, and I do offer this service as well, but is a deep clean. So once you've gotten rid of everything that you need to get rid of, and oftentimes I will go through my client's house with my handy dandy post-it notes, and I will post-it note everything that needs to go. Because sometimes they're like, well, I don't know what needs to stay, what needs to go. So I will go around the house and I will sticky everything that needs to be removed. So sometimes that makes my clients happy knowing what they need to do, and sometimes it makes them sad because they have so much stuff to take out of their house. But my famous words when getting things arranged and organized is less is more. And you want to be able to open up the spaces. You still want to make it look like a home, but you want to open it up so that it's open and airy and spacious, and less is more is basically the tagline for that. Just making sure that you don't have excess things in rooms that you don't need to have. You can have that when you're living there, that's no problem. But when you're going to list your house and selling it, you need to present it in a different manner, usually. I think I mentioned deep clean. So this is a service that I offer my clients as well. Once things are out of the house, once the things that are staying for the listing are there, then you need to clean, clean, clean. Now, this can be free because you can do this on your own time. You can hire somebody to do it. You can have my help with that. But deep cleaning is imperative. Cleaning windows, take out the screens, by the way, when you're selling your house for photos. Just you have to clean. Fix caulking, fix leaky taps or loose taps or loose toilets. These things are little, but they are important things. You also have to think about things like curb appeal. So when somebody is driving up to your house, please tell me you don't have garbage and stuff everywhere that their first impression is not being impressed based on them coming into the property or coming up to the property. You want your curb appeal to be on point. You want it to be clean, clutter-free, giving it a 10 out of 10 first impression, getting them excited to go inside of the home. So that's another big thing. Now, from an inside standpoint of the home, you want to make sure that your big ticket items are at minimum serviced. So if you have a UV light, put a new UV bulb in. Get your furnace serviced. Change the filter. Please tell me you've changed the filter. These things are important because when somebody's looking at a home, I know as a realtor myself, when we are touring a home, 8 times out of 10, I'm pulling the filter out of the furnace just to see, because the filter in the furnace can say a lot about a homeowner, believe it or not. So change that filter. Another thing that I highly recommend my clients do, now this is totally optional, but it's always recommended, is a pre-list home inspection. Why do you want to do this? Because it is going to potentially uncover things that you did not know was wrong with the house. Instead of a buyer coming and doing a home inspection and then uncovering all of these things that you may not have known, why not do it yourself so that, first of all, you can be in the know about your house. You can know that things are good, or you can address issues that come up ahead of time. So you get the home inspection and there's a couple little things here and there. You can address those things. And on the home inspection itself, you can say, this was addressed. Here's the invoice for this. We had this fixed, so on and so forth. This builds trust. This is a transparency element. Some people want the buyers to do their own home inspections. I personally, as a buyer agent, when I'm working with a buyer, I love it when there's a home inspection available because it gives us an opportunity to go through things to see. And if it's a home inspector that I personally know and trust, even better, because then we don't have to spend $500 or $550 on a home inspection because it's already been done. It just allows the buyer to feel a little bit better knowing that we wanted to make sure that the house was in good order and that to uncover anything that could be an issue so that we could address those things. Or maybe you're doing a home inspection and you just want to know what the issues are so that we can price the home accordingly. Just because you get a home inspection done does not mean that the issues that arise, you have to fix. You don't. You have the choice of doing whatever you want. But sometimes if there's a big ticket issue, say it's a $5,000 issue, we can go to the buyers and be transparent and say, this is an issue. It's going to cost about $5,000 to fix, but we have actually adjusted the list price to incorporate that extra $5,000. So there's different things that you can use this for, but it's really for your knowledge and education to ensure that there is not going to be any massive surprises, and we have control of who is actually looking at the house. So we know that the home inspector that's looking at the house is qualified and is going to find what needs to be found, which we want the issues to be found. Just like if you're buying a house, you want to make sure that any of the issues are being addressed because you want to be able to know what you're getting yourself into. Another element to the pre-list preparation stages is gathering data for the buyers. So the home inspection is a big part because you're gathering a whole bunch of data on the house for the buyers. But then there's littler things like your taxes, your rental amount. So if your hot water tank is a rental, your propane tank is a rental, I'm going to ask you to provide me that information. How much do you pay for your propane tanks every year? Usually it's like 80 or 90 bucks a year, but we need to know that so that we can relay this information to the buyers. What are your taxes? That's something that I need before I can even list the property as your tax amount. Things like who you use for internet and your utility costs. Your utility costs are something that most, I think 9 times out of 10 realtors don't ask for. But for me, I think it's very important because they're going to ask us those questions probably anyway. So why not just have it there for them so that they don't have to ask and that they have the information available to them right up front. So hydro, water, sewer, any of those kinds of, I mean, you don't pay for sewer, you pay for water, but well, septic information, if you're on a well, maybe you already have a well report, that would be great to show the buyers. If you are on a septic system, if you've had it pumped in the last year or two, telling them that would be a good idea because they probably don't need it pumped anytime soon. Providing that information is very, very important. So when I'm working with my sellers, I make them fill out this big, long seller intake form. It takes them about 10 to 20 minutes to fill it out. It's a little bit painful, but it's important information and I won't have to ask for it again. I only have to ask one time and then the pain is over and we can move on with getting the home listed. But we're doing all of these things to have the house prepped and ready for the photographs, the photographer. We need to make sure that all of these things are done before we start taking photos of the house. First of all, if you're not working with me and you're working with a different realtor, you need to make sure that they use professional photography. If they are going around with their phone taking photos, that is a red flag. Fire them before you even get the opportunity to go on the market. You need professional photography. This can make or break a property. And it can devalue your property when it potentially is worth more based on the photos. So make sure that that photo, the photographer is a professional. You're not using your phone. Drone footage is also a very highly recommended bird's eye view. It just kind of gives them idea of what the lot lines look like, how close are the neighbors, that kind of thing. That's all important stuff. But this is all the pre-list prep. So once you have the photos, you're basically ready to go. And you just need to understand what the marketing plan is and who you're marketing to and all of those things. But we'll get into that on another video. This is just about the importance of the pre-list preparation stages. I hope that you find this helpful. Whether you're listing with me or listing with another agent, these things are the most important parts. Maybe I've left a couple of things out, I'm not sure, but these are the main things that I find very, very important in order to get your home organized and ready to go. So if you have any questions, please reach out anytime. I'm always available. My information is below. Feel free to DM me or comment below if you've got questions or reach out. I am happy to help you with anything real estate related. We'll see you in the next video.